Ever wonder what the supreme leader of a dictatorship spends his money on? You're about to find out. Kim Jong-un and company keep a pretty tight leash on the information coming out of their country. But through intentional displayed leaked information, interviews from defectors, satellite images, and other intelligence, we now know how Kim Jong-un spends his billions. Number 7. Sweet Wheels. While the citizens of North Korea scrounge around to find enough clothes to keep them warm, Kim Jong-un is rolling up in Mercedes-Benz and Rolls-Royce vehicles. These aren't just the everyman luxury car. Nope, Kim pokes around in the $500,000 Maybach S600 and the like. These are the bulletproof motorcade-style models that only world leaders can afford to drive. Well, I guess Kim isn't actually driving. It's his chauffeur, which is for the best because I doubt Kim could even reach the pedals. Complete with a synchronized running team of highly trained martial artist security guards, this is the height of luxury driving. North Korean leaders had to establish elaborate back-channel skipping methods in order to acquire these cars, as economic sanctions have banned the sale of luxury items in North Korea. However, Kim keeps finding a way to bring in the most decadent wheels in the world. Too bad he couldn't use some of that ingenuity to clothe the starving children on the streets of his cities. Number 6. Eating habits. Believe it or not, Kim Jong-un looks to eat. I know it's a shock that this 5'5", 290-pound bowling ball is into food, but believe me, he is. This guy has a team of personal chefs, a team of chefs for one man, while most North Korean citizens struggle to find enough to subsist amidst food rationing of just over ½ pound per person per day. Shark fin soup has been banned in many places since the harvesting of shark fins has driven some species to the verge of extinction. But Kim is willing to push his own people to the verge of extinction to maintain his lavish lifestyle. You think he gives a rip about the sharks? Kim enjoys the product of specially bred and raised cattle called Kobe beef, which can cost upwards of $100 a pound in America. One can only assume it's more expensive in a country where it's being imported for one oversized eater. Kim Jong-un is also a lover of Emmental cheese. This is a yellow savory flavored Swiss cheese, which can purchase right now for a measly $30 a pound from Amazon. Number 5. Booze. And to wash down all that fine cuisine, this merciless dictator guzzles the most delectable beverages the world has to offer. Import data from 2017 revealed that North Korea has imported $900,000 of Brazilian coffee. And you know this was only enjoyed by Kim and his inner circle. Maybe he should just consider switching to decaf. That might help with the temper. The same global economic restrictions that North Korea has to skirt around to get Kim Jong-un his fancy cars also have to be avoided to get alcohol into the country. A Chinese ship carrying 3,000 cases of fine Russian vodka was intercepted in Rotterdam, which was believed to be heading straight for Kim's liquor cabinet. He's also a fan of Cristal, the $100 plus per bottle champagne. Kim has been seen regularly downing 2 bottles of this stuff in one sitting. But hey, he's got plenty to celebrate. Basically, every political enemy he's had has been executed by his entourage. Pop some bottles, Kim. Number 4. Island. Naturally, such a benevolent dictator is going to need a place to live, so why not his own island? When Dennis Rodman made a trip to hang out with Kim in search of world peace or something, he described the island as having all the amenities of a tropical resort and all the decor of a palace. Rodman and his talent manager went on Howard Stern to describe the marble-adorned buildings, the jet skiing, and the all-girl band that plays all of Kim's favorites, including Burn in Love, My Way, and the theme song from Dallas. What exceptional taste he has. Number 3. I'm on a boat, mother effer. This floating hotel was constructed in Singapore and was docked in Queensland, Australia, where this resort on a boat operated for a short time before experiencing financial troubles. It is decked out with 200 rooms, nightclubs, restaurants, even tennis courts, and a helipad. It was later moved to Vietnam, where it operated under the name Saigon Floating Hotel. until purchased by North Korea as a so-called gift to their people and opened in 1998. You'll see clips of people laughing and having a good time at the restaurants and facilities on this dreamboat, but it is almost assuredly a front for positive publicity. The average North Korean citizen makes something like $1,000 a year, lives off scarce food rations, and would never dream of setting foot in a restaurant. After Kim Jong-un assumed power in 2011, he reportedly visited the site and was unimpressed. In 2019, it was reported that he criticized the facilities after a quick visit, being quoted as saying that they are not only backward in terms of architecture, but look so shabby as they are not properly cared for. The buildings are just a hodgepodge with no national character at all. What a nice thing to say about the gift to the people of North Korea. I mean, it's a pretty modest facility when compared to Kim's island. Number 2. Hanging with his bros. As big a clowns as they appear, North Korea's leaders are masters of PR. They have an entire country full of people either brainwashed into worshiping Kim Jong-un or terrified into acting like it. The outside world is less susceptible to this public relations game, but that doesn't stop them from trying. Several former presidents and public figures visited North Korea before Kim's reign, and now that he is in power, he has continued the charade. They bring in leaders and celebrities from the rest of the world, treat them like royalty, show them only the finest locations, and people acting like they love it there, wine and dine them, and then send them back into the world to hopefully say great things about the horrific conditions of the nation. Dennis Rodman is a prime example. He seemed to love every minute of his time in North Korea, but the real information that surfaces from inside shows that the real plight of North Korean people is absolutely awful. And number 1, camping. Kim isn't much for camping. He's a little too pampered for that. Satellite images and rare interviews with escapees reveal that Gulag prisons that house up to 5,000 prisoners each, and it's estimated that there are 15 to 20 of these inside the country. Imprisoning 100,000 people in a country of 25 million is not cheap, so Kim and his posse cut corners by starving their prisoners to death. Much like was the case in the Soviet Union, you can be in prison for just about anything in North Korea, and if there's nothing to dig up on you, they will just make it up. The tragic example of Otto Warmbier shows how perfectly innocent people can be swept up by the police, imprisoned, and beaten to death for a crime that was completely fabricated. To make matters worse, there is an elaborate web of government informants spread throughout the country so that nobody can trust anybody, and the slightest misstep will earn a person years of hard labor, most likely leading to death. So Kim Jong-un is a high roller. His country is massively impoverished, but at least the supreme leader has all the comforts and luxuries the world has to offer. Take a second and subscribe to Terrific Tens and leave us a line in the comments. Until next time, chug a crystal for me, Kim.